Hi, all. It's Saida Vaglara from Becoming I Am here with the astrology of Wednesday through Friday. This would be July 1st through July 3rd. I bunched these together because in all 3 days, the moon will be in Aquarius. And I need you to remember that when we have the moon in Aquarius, we're more creative. Our inner child is awakened. There's this spark that is inside of us that is uniquely us that is coming out. It makes us a little bit having mental clarity, but also rebellious. Okay. It's kind of like I'm done doing the same things the same way because it's not working out for me and we're going to move forward. All right. And so I need you to keep that in mind because that's the beginning stages on Wednesday. And Wednesday, it still has the influence of that moon where you're kind of moving forward in those contracts and stuff. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is your third day, right? You can say Thursday also, but cut it off on Wednesday. And so what it's provoking, it's this let's think outside the box and how to remove ourselves from these contracts and these agreements and these entanglements that we've had because they don't work. All right. But then on Thursday, and this is important because Thursday is where you can say it's officially the end of the moon. Sorry, I'm so itchy. Um, Venus trines Lilith. And I am telling you, and both of them in Leo. And remember that I told you that Leo is having that fun game with Jupiter. It's expanding. Okay. So this is like now putting more flame, more gasoline. I want to say gasoline because this is excessive amount of fire to the energy that's already big enough, bigger than life. And we have Venus, the sign that has to do with your desires, linking up with it and trining, so returning this energy of we're not gonna take it. No, we're not gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore. That energy. I don't know. It's like all of a sudden I just started getting that song in my head. It's important that you know this because it's kind of one of those things that I will not go quietly down in the night. I will not take a knee. I will not do that. I need to have this light be shone and I won't let anybody stop me. And you want to know why it's coming up? It's coming up because besides that, we have this Jupiter in Leo, the Jupiter in Leo we were talking about before, Alex the Lion from Madagascar, squaring, getting squared up by the Chiron in Taurus, which is back in the beginning, a couple of days ago when I told you, hi, I'm back. And I told you about this Chiron in Taurus. Why is this important? Because Chiron in Taurus right now is this energy of the wounded warrior. And the square is actually your glass ceiling. So you have been shown since Monday the agreements, the commencements, the entanglements that you have been gaslighting yourself in to stay stuck small when you're big. And it's based on things that you learned throughout your life. And what we're seeing is I'm not going to bow down, but then getting that smackdown where the old habits are returning, kind of telling you, yeah, you will bow down. We're not going to let you stand up. And so this is like a tug of war energy. And this is why I feel like it's a really hard energy. And I'm going to tell you that there's going to be an F ton of people triggered during this period of time of Wednesday through Friday. Actually, it's going to be the rest of the week, but those days are going to be very intense because of this tug of war of I want to break free and we're not going to take it and then sit down. You're going to be sitting in the corner. And then this other part of you saying baby doesn't go in the corner. Do you like all my references? I'm just saying. And so that's important to know because the next part out of all of this is that Mars, the energy of war, is in Taurus, the bull that will break down walls, and it's getting squared up, another wall that's being placed in front of you in the North Node in Pisces. That's the old world. Okay. So we're feeling like we're being closed in, like the way they're showing me in my mind's eye is, those houses those rooms that you see in all those like Indiana Jones movies where the walls are slowly closing in and they're looking for a way to get out, but they can't find the switch to stop it and they're closing in and they're going to be turned into a pancake. Kind of like that. And you have no choice but to move and do something. And that's important. Why? Because let's be honest, again, I'm going to tell you the same thing I told you before. We're not going to move unless we feel uncomfortable, unless where we are feels worse than moving, right? We won't move, if that makes sense to you. It's kind of like moving requires change, requires unknown, requires fears, and requires anxieties. And where you're at, there's routine, even though it's uncomfortable and all kinds of stuff, there's routine and there's consistency. So when you're at is so uncomfortable that it feels worse to stay where you're at than to go towards those fears and anxieties because you don't know what you're going to do next. That's what the universe is doing with you during this period of time. So, and always keep in mind that in the back burner we have the Mercury retrograde. Literally, we're getting our aces handed to us, but it's a good thing. And I know that it's crazy to say it, but like I said, it's because it's your turn to get out of this funk. And the only way to do it is to push you out, right? I hope this helps.